Everyone, it's Chaitni, your wellness coach. Thanks so much for stopping by this week. This week's video, I want to talk about 5 ways to live a more purposeful and fulfilled life through the daily grind. It's so easy to go at an extremely fast pace with the lives that we're living that it becomes just normal to not feel fulfilled and to feel like we don't really have a purpose or not to experience, true sense of joy and peace. And a lot of times when we get to that point, we start to turn to some unhealthy ways of coping. We reach for those really unhealthy carbs. We tend to go to Instagram and start doom scrolling or on TikTok, or we start to turn to mind numbing activities or addictions, whether it's alcohol or other addictive substances. And we get to a point where these unhealthy ways just become a way of life. They're a part of our lifestyle. But when that happens, it's really time to slow down a little bit, to reevaluate and figure out how can we live a more purposeful and intentional life. So today I share really 5 basic ways where you can start to bring about that purpose back into your life, where you can start to feel like you're living a more mindful and fulfilled life. So way number 1 is to be of value to something and someone. I'm not talking about just volunteering or being a part of charities. All of that is great. If you're doing that, do that. If that's your calling, go for it. But sometimes it's something very simple. It could be something like adopting a dog instead of buying a dog, or a cat if you're a cat lover. Doing something for the planet and starting that in your home and teaching that to your children. Passing that on, or joining the neighborhood and cleaning your local beach. Or it's promoting a small business owner or a minority owned business. Sometimes the smallest acts can have a ripple effect, not just in other people's lives, but also in yours. Now, way number 2 is giving yourself at least 20 minutes a day to do and be. So when I say 20 minutes, I'm not talking about getting on your phone and spending 20 minutes on social media or spending 20 minutes on Amazon buying things that you don't really need. It's about doing and being so you can enrich your soul, so you can give your soul the fuel that it needs to keep on going. So you're not looking for temporary happiness. You're not looking for, anything that's just going to give you limited joy, but you're looking for an experience. You're looking for something that's going to help all your senses and something that's going to feel rejuvenating. So that could be, going for a 20-minute swim or doing a 20-minute workout or being out in nature for 20 minutes, or just pampering yourself, maybe putting on a face mask, or it's, 20 minutes of yoga, or it's 20 minutes of nap time, whatever it is that's going to help you feel refueled. It could be a 20-minute drive in a really beautiful part of the city. You have to remember self-care is not selfish. So just start with at least 20 minutes. It could be a 20-minute meditation as well. You get the point. And then way number 3 is find balance and moderation. There are times in life when we do need to go really hard, right? We do need to give over 100%. But when we start to make that a way of life and we do that consistently, it leads to stress and burnout. It leaves you feeling with no energy, feeling really lethargic, cranky, possibly depressed, anxious, and just overall, you are not in the best shape of your life, physically, mentally, or emotionally. And you can't function on fumes long term. So that stress and burnout that you experience is going to be damaging in the long run. It's not just something that affects your body and your mind for a few days or for a month. It has a very long-term impact. So instead of this go, go, go attitude, sometimes you have to force yourself to see the traffic lights, if you will. You have to ask yourself, how can you slow down, when can you slow down? What can you do to slow down? There is always a way. Sometimes that means prioritizing. Sometimes it means readjusting your schedule, revisiting where you can make some modifications. Sometimes it's learning to say no. Sometimes it's asking for help. These are all strategies that you can implement to create that balance and moderation. And then way number 4 is giving thanks. If you've watched any of my past videos, you know how important gratitude is, because without that silver lining, it's very easy to feel that everything is doomed, or it's very easy to feel stuck, or it's very easy to just accept the life that you have instead of aspiring for the one that you want. So consistently and mindfully giving thanks is really important. And it's not just about writing bullet points, that I'm thankful for my spouse, I'm thankful for my dog, I'm thankful for the beautiful meal that I shared with my friends. But it's important to list and also include the reason why you're thankful. So if you're thankful for your spouse, it could be something like, I'm so thankful for John Doe because he brings me a hot cup of coffee every morning when I'm waking up. And that to you feels very considerate, very affectionate, and very loving. So write down the reasons, because that's when it really hits home. That's when giving thanks becomes profound, and it becomes an exercise that could change the way you live, and that could completely change your perspective on life. And then way number 5 is nurture your relationships. We're not islands, so why behave like ones, right? So if you miss somebody, let them know that. If you want to tell somebody you love them, tell them that. What's stopping you? Connect with a friend, connect with a loved one, whether it's over text, over a video call, or a phone call, or just, finally carving out time to catch up with them in person. Or maybe you come across a meme or a quote that reminds you of someone you love. Send it to them. Let them know that you were thinking of them. Our job is to keep up our end of the bargain without worrying about whether or not the other person has the time to respond. So many times we get stuck in this loop of, oh, what if she's really busy? Or what if I'm disturbing them? Well, if you are, you are. That is not your concern. Your end of the bargain is to keep in touch and to make the other person feel loved and let them know you're thinking of them. Sometimes just sending that message or having that phone call, even if it's just 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it can be so uplifting. That's when you realize that there's so much more to life than a stressful job, so much more to life than the bills that you have to pay, and so much more to life than the daily grind. So just to wrap it up, the 5 ways that you can find more purpose in your life, you can feel more fulfilled, are 1, be of value to something or someone. Way number 2 is give yourself at least 20 minutes a day to be and do. Number 3 is find balance and moderation in your life. Number 4 is give thanks. Number 5 is nurture your relationships. It's easy to just go nonstop. And when we do that, we're not actually present. We're not actually living. We're just surviving. But the ways that I shared with you, they are basics. They are simple steps that you can start to incorporate today if you want. And they are different, and make you realize that life is beautiful in its own twisted way. Focusing on these basics can bring back purpose and can bring back that sense of fulfillment. As always, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. If you want to learn more about what I do and how I help my clients live healthy lives, please check out my website. It's www.imperfectbodies.com. Imperfect bodies is one word. As I said, thank you for stopping by. I will catch you next week. In the meantime, I hope you have a marvelous week.